Hey, go into my Fiverr in the basement and go grab the Stinky Slinky.
English, please.
Hey y'all, we're Jimmy and Lisa with FindUsCamping. Welcome back to another episode of Tuesday Talks
For RVers. Today, we just want to take a few minutes to discuss something that we've been doing this for a while, so it's kind of common sense to us, or it seems like it is, but remembering back to when we were new to RVing, it's probably not for everyone. So we're gonna throw out a few I'm gonna throw out a few definitions, if
I was
you will.
never good in definitions in school.
And he's gonna tell you the word, because we want to discuss some RV slang or RV lingo. So when you're, camping, or even just talking about camping with people, and you hear them say things and you're thinking, I don't really know what that
Like
means.
Stinky Slinky.
Yeah, so Stinky Slinky, that's going to be your sewer hose. And just for the record, we don't keep ours in the basement. We have a poop tube, that's what we call it, to store our Stinky Slinky. The poop tube is just a tube that's mounted under the back of the trailer, because we don't have a back bumper. A lot of people use their back bumper and they put their sewer hose there. We don't have a back bumper with a toy hauler, so Jimmy installed some tubes underneath that we store it in. But anyway, so you get the idea. We're just going to go through, not all, because there's plenty, and there's no dictionary for these, so if I don't get the definition exactly right, you'll understand what I'm talking about anyway. So one of the first ones we're going to say is tag along, or pull behind, or bumper pull. Those would refer to
Travel trailer?
Travel trailer.
Yes, I got it right.
How about Fiverr? You used that earlier in the description.
The Fiverr in my basement Fiverr?
Right.
Maybe a fifth wheel?
Fifth wheel.
Fifth wheel. Why is it called a fifth wheel? I actually have 6 wheels.
I guess it's because the way it hooks into the camper. Into the truck.
Mine would be a 7-wheeler. Oh well.
I don't know then. Another one is going to be, you'll hear people say diesel pusher, or even a diesel puller.
Could be a Class A.
Class A. So if
maybe
it's
C, B.
If it's a diesel pusher, that's something that you can drive that has a diesel engine, but the engine's in the back, so it's pushing. Diesel puller is diesel powered that the engine's in the front.
Because
so
it's pulling it along.
While we're on Class A's and that kind of pullers and pushers, there's also what do you call the towed vehicle. So if we have a Class A and we have a little smart car behind it that we're towing along with us, that's referred to in the RV community as a
frog?
Close.
Tadpole. Towed.
Towed.
I knew I'd get it.
Because it's a towed vehicle.
Spelled different.
Yeah, but you get the drift. Jimmy also mentioned in our intro to get something out of the basement. So the basement is...
I'm afraid of the basement.
I guess I got it backwards. So...
Oh, you did it wrong.
The storage area under the living space in either a fifth wheel or like a Class A, B, C. I don't know that they have storage underneath, but anyone that's got storage under the living area is referred to in a camper as a
basement. You already gave that one away.
Basement. Just like at your house, the area that's beneath like your main living area is going to be a basement. Some other things that we can talk about are if you are camping somewhere that has no amenities, no water, no sewer, no electric, no anything, just you and your rig.
I'm going somewhere else.
And that's going to be called
boondocking, or maybe dry camping, whichever way you guys want to do it, because you have nothing there. You're boondocking in the middle of nowhere.
If you have a generator, you can use that for power.
Now we have done a boondocking harvest host one time.
Right.
Once again, a harvest host, if you don't know what that is, it's just a place that allows you to boondock in one of their parking lots. So you just basically pull up and you sleep and you leave. So there's no amenities, there's no hookups, most of them there's nothing there. So
dry. Also in that same line of thinking is if we were going to fill up our tanks so that we could boondock or dry camp. But on the way to where we're going, we're going to stop off at a family member or friend's house, park in their driveway. Again, they have no amenities. Maybe they've got water.
I know what that is.
Sometimes maybe they have some power. Rarely
We've done this
do they
before.
have sewer. But it's not boondocking, it's called...
We're going to mooch off of them, so it's going to be mooch docking. So we're going to mooch their food, their dinner, everything we can.
Well, we might mooch a little power if they have an appropriate hookup. We might mooch some water because most people have a faucet you can get water out of. So along the same lines as boondocking, but called mooch docking, because you're going to mooch something from your friends or family that you're staying with.
If you stay too long, your friends and family might not want you to mooch anymore.
Right.
They might tell you to go to a FHU. You know what an FHU is?
I do. It's a full hookup. So when you get to a campground, and this is something that I didn't realize, like in Virginia where we're from, state parks do not have FHUs. They do not have full hookup sites. Most of them have water and electric. And then they have a dump station so you can dump your black tanks when you leave, but you don't have a sewer connection at your site.
So at those state parks, there's something that goes around.
Well, state parks don't usually have it, but you will find that some campgrounds, even some of the Thousand Trails campgrounds we've gone to, have full hookup sites, but then sometimes they'll have sites that are just water and electric. And either you can dump your tank when you leave,
or I have to call my honey.
I have to call for the honey wagon. I'm not sure how the truck that comes by and sucks the stuff out of your black tank gets the
Probably
name
because somebody like you is in the front.
Honey wagon.
You're in the front going, honey, honey.
The tanks are full.
Tanks are full. And then we'll call the honey wagon.
So if you ever hear anybody refer to a honey wagon, that's what they're talking about. The truck that's going to come by and suck or drain, or however you want to talk about it.
So you don't want that as a job?
No, I'm never going to drive the honey wagon. But that's how, if you're staying somewhere that does not have a sewer hookup and you don't want to have to move your rig to go to the dump station. Dump stations where you're going to dump your tanks if there's not a sewer hookup. But a lot of those parks do have honey wagons, so they will come and drain your black tank into their truck for you.
So we have found there is probably 2 or 3 different types of sites
So
when you go to a campground.
FHU, which was a full hookup. And then
We have back ends.
you have a back-end site, which clearly, this is one of those that kind of sounds like common sense, but it isn't always. So that's one that you're going to pull up to your site and you're going to back in. And then when you leave, you're just going to pull out.
So I have Lisa practicing on those now. So when we get to a back end site now.
It's not too difficult.
You did pretty good on the last one.
Working on my backing skills.
So
the other one is a pull-through site, which those typically are much easier, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You pull in
through
and you pull out. So you're pulling through the site. You pull in when you get there and you keep pulling to pull forward when you leave. So no backing required.
And then there's a fun site if you're traveling with somebody.
And most but not all campgrounds have these sites, and they don't usually have an abundance of them. But if you're traveling with friends, what fun is it to back into your site, they back into theirs, and you have to walk around to get to them, or they have to walk around to get to you. So there is a site where you either pull in this way and they pull in that way, or they back in this way and you back in this way, and your rigs door sides face one another. So you have a common area between the two of you, and that's called a
friendship site?
Close.
Maybe a buddy site.
A buddy site. So the last place we were at a buddy site with some friends. 2 of us faced each other, and then the rest of them, kind of filled in on the ends. So that was a good time because we had a huge open area between the 2 sites. So everybody could kind of come together for campfires, you know, eating, whatever. We had a big common area between us all. So
Body sites are pretty fun.
that was fun.
You put the 2 tables together and everybody comes out and we have breakfast and dinner together and we all sit and we're with our buddies.
We just camp. We just hang out together. So we aren't quite this next word. So the next one is we still go home from time to time, but there are people that don't have a home anymore.
So
they don't have a sticks and bricks, which is what your, you know, home that's not on wheels is referred to.
Well, ours is sticks and siding.
Right. But
there's no bricks.
so if you are someone that doesn't have a sticks and bricks anymore, that has sold everything and hit the road, and you live in your RV while you're traveling around, you're referred to in the RV community as a
old timer.
No, and you know what? People aren't used to be. Most of these were older people that were retired and sold their home and hit the road.
So that was wrong?
But it's getting to where it's younger and younger, and more families are doing it with everything being virtual now, and kids don't have to go
Young
to school.
timers.
No.
Full timer?
Full timer.
Full timers.
So those are full timers. We aren't quite full timers yet.
What are we?
But we aren't those people that only come on the weekends.
They're warriors.
Those people are weekend warriors. We're somewhere in between. I refer to us as full-time as part-timers can be. So we're not the weekend warriors anymore.
So how many days have we been in our sticks and bricks this year?
So
this is what,
today
May
is May
3rd?
3rd that we're recording this video, and I think last time I checked we had been home 17 days since January 1.
I mean, do you see the view behind us? Why would you go home when you can see that?
If you can work remotely, if you have that perk, which we do, then why not travel and take in the views and see the sights? We do still have to go home occasionally, so.
So if you guys know of any more RV,
Any more
Slingo,
slang?
slang, whatever you want to call it, comment below, let us know. There's a lot more, but you know, we try to make these as short as possible. So there is a lot more of them there. So if you have something, let us know.
Or if you've heard a term mentioned around the campfire or at a campground and you don't know what it means and you didn't want to ask, go ahead and post that below too, and if we don't know, we'll figure it out and give you an answer.
So this concludes our Tuesday talks
for RVers.
So please make sure you give us those thumbs up,
subscribe,
ring the bell,
so you don't miss the next Tuesday talks or Sunday video.
And until the next time you find us camping,
safe travels, y'all. Already? How many times you gonna ask me already? RV slang or RV lingo.